up, Tzu volunteers care for mudslide survivors in Keelung, Taiwan. We learn about how living donor transplant can benefit patients suffering from liver diseases. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Liao. Thank you for joining us. The heavy rain over the past week caused massive mudslides and flooding in Taiwan's Keelung. As a result, a house on Keelung's Beining Road collapsed, while other buildings were severely damaged. Following the disaster, Tzu volunteers arrived with emotional support and carried out a disaster survey.
On August 31st, heavy rains caused a severe mudslide, leading to the collapse of a two-story house on Beining Road in Keelung.
My youngest daughter was sleeping on the second floor. When her sister heard glass breaking, she rushed to wake her up. They both escaped unharmed. I am so relieved upon learning that they are safe.
The Chen sisters were the only residents inside the building and luckily managed to escape unharmed. There were no casualties reported. However, the Chen family of 6 were left homeless.
We had never encountered such an accident. We have lived here for 30 or 40 years, and this is a first. Thank you, Master Zheng Yan, for helping us. Thank you very much.
Other than caring for the Chen family, Tzu volunteers also visited each household on Beining Road to settle anxious hearts.
The mudslide hit our home. Actually, our house was 30 to 40 meters from the hill. However, the mudslide was unstoppable. You see that? It was damaged by the mudslide.
The mudslide left several houses on Beining Road uninhabitable. Tzu volunteers arrived with much-needed care at the same time as they surveyed the needs of the disaster survivors for future assistance.
In a few months' time, Tzu volunteers will be holding winter aid distributions in locations throughout China. To prepare for their work ahead, Tzu volunteers in Beijing have been working to build a list of residents most in need of such aid. Next, we travel to a village in Hebei and meet life warrior Yang Jingling.
Knowing that Tzu volunteers will be paying a visit to his home in Hebei Province, China, Yang Jingling was up early this morning. Although paralyzed from the waist down, Yang remains positive and finds great pride in his daughter's achievements.
In the village, whenever there's an exam, she places in the top 3. Usually she takes first.
Following the accident that left him paralyzed, the young man was showered with love by his family. This gave Yang the strength to face his predicament with courage. Although his family's economic situation means that he cannot find a solution through surgery, he has not given up hope of walking again.
If my whole body couldn't move, then that would be it. But since I can still move my arms, so I try to take care of my legs. Although my legs are on strike now, I take care of them, and if one day they decide to work, I won't have to do as much rehabilitation.
Every day, Yang does at least 3 hours of physical therapy. Often, his 8-year-old daughter is by his side, compassionate and wise beyond her years.
Today is Grandma's birthday. I want to send her a cake, but I don't have the money, so I bought her some candy instead. This evening, I brought her the candy and she was so happy.
Although this family lives in economic hardship, the love they share ensures that their days are filled with contentment and hope that one day things will get better.
In Malaysia, over the years, Tzu volunteers has played an important role in community development. In 1994, Penang Tzu volunteers divided themselves into 6 teams to visit care recipients across the region. Later in 1998, a community-based team of volunteers was formed. Let's take a look.
Today in Malaysia, the achievements of Tzu Chi are predominantly attributed to the dedication of local Tzu Chi volunteers as they work tirelessly in promoting Tzu Chi's philosophy and ideals in local communities. Regardless of the size of the venue or the number of the attendees, at each event, Tzu Chi volunteers work hard to introduce Tzu Chi to members of their communities and inspire them to walk the Tzu Chi path. In 1994, Penang Tzu Chi volunteers divided themselves into 6 groups in order to expand their coverage of home visitations. 4 years later, the volunteers began working within the communities in which they were based. Among the beneficiaries of the Buddhist NGO is Tzu Chi care recipient Ye Shouliang. Thanks to the volunteers' constant care and love, his relationship with his daughter has shown great improvement. Despite being apathetic, Ye still cherishes the opportunity to help the less fortunate and follows in the volunteers' footsteps in practicing recycling.
We feel grateful for these care recipients because they give us opportunities to show our worth to this world. They inspire us to do as much as we can to help the less fortunate.
Tzu Chi's dialysis centers also play a role in their respective communities to promote healthy diets and canvas for funds. Since 2007, the dialysis centers have been selling vegetarian lunch boxes. The residents in the neighborhood also show their support to Tzu Chi's campaign.
For some residents, they felt that it was inconvenient to buy meatless food at a vegetarian restaurant. They preferred to eat non-vegetarian food as it was more convenient. Since Tzu Chi volunteers have started selling vegetarian lunch boxes to households, local residents have been willing to change to a vegetarian lifestyle. My family also buys Tzu Chi's lunch boxes.
Nurses of the dialysis centers are also frequently seen checking local residents' blood pressure. In addition to helping the residents tend to their health, the nurses also seize the chance to introduce Tzu Chi's bamboo coin banks.
It is very convenient. With the nurses' help, we can check our blood pressure on a regular basis. If we have any health problems, we can also ask them. It is good for us. Most of the other communities do not have such a thoughtful service.
Thanks to Tzu Chi volunteers' work across communities, local residents can enjoy a spiritual affinity with not only the Buddhist NGO, but also their fellow neighbors.
According to the Taiwan Organ Registry and Sharing Center, of August 28 this year, there are still over 1,000 patients around the island waiting for a liver transplant. However, there are less than 200 organ donors each year, yet the advancement in medicine means that the option of living donor transplant is also possible.
Despite having donated part of her liver to her father the day before, Li Xiaoxing still visits him to make sure he's doing well. Li's father suffered from liver disease for over a decade, and his condition eventually worsened to liver cirrhosis. Unwilling to see her father in pain, his daughter decided to donate part of her liver.
In regards to the liver transplant, sometimes you might have to wait for a while to find a matching donor. And if we finally find one, my dad might not be in the right condition to go through with the surgery. We can't predict his condition. After all, there are so many patients on the waiting list.
As of August 10, 2013, there are still over 1,000 patients wanting a liver transplant. However, living donor transplants have been made possible with the advances in medicine, thus bringing hope of a new lease of life for many patients. As a living donor must donate approximately 60% of his or her liver, besides working to save the lives of their patients, medical staff must also ensure that the donor will survive on the remaining parts of the organ. Li Xiaoxing has more veins than her father, and the thinner arteries makes it more difficult for medical staff to connect them. Missing even one artery will put Mr. Li's life in danger. Thus, doctors carefully ensure every of the 8 arteries are attached.
Connecting thinner arteries has always been difficult, and because they are quite deep, we have to stand in particular postures for the surgery. In addition, the patient is breathing and his heart is still beating, and that makes everything even harder.
A month after his transplant surgery, Mr. Lee is making a speedy recovery. As the day Mr. Lee is to be discharged from the hospital happens to be Li Xiaoxing's birthday, the family celebrates with medical staff of their new lives ahead.
In our past reports, we have discovered that excessive reliance on skincare and cosmetic products is a heavy burden to our skin. Now, dermatologists have come up with the concept of skin detox, in which they advise patients to discontinue their use of all skincare and cosmetic products to give our skin time to recover.
I use a mixed variety of products. If somebody told me a certain product was good, I'd try it out. So I use a bit of this and a bit of that. I've tried many skincare products. Those for oily skin, blemished skin, or whitening, I've used them all.
But is it really necessary to go through such lengths for a healthy complexion? 34-year-old Miss Zheng stopped using products for over a year, and now her skin is looking better than before.
I have a huge mark here. I only found out when I came here that it's actually damaged skin tissue. It caused an inflammation because at the time, I kept applying products over it. But now I can feel a distinct improvement in my skin tone.
Neglecting to understand the products you're applying to your skin might cause already damaged skin tissues to worsen. Also, overnourishing your skin will lead to a buildup of toxins. Hence, dermatologists came up with the concept of skin detox.
Your face will swell. Once the swelling goes down, your skin will get better. The skin needs to breathe and it will expel impurities. Although her skin condition is still poor, it's still better than before, and we have seen great improvement from last year.
As the cosmetic industry sees growth over the years, the products we apply to our skin have become more complex. What we are forgetting, however, is perhaps less is more.
We have had a lot of patients come see us over the years with allergic skin reactions. This is because they are not conscious of the types of skincare products they are using. This is a common problem worldwide, so I think this has become a public health issue.
Delicate yet tough, what our skin needs is much different than what we imagine, and whether the combination of products we use will work well together is debatable.
We should try to limit ourselves to using no more than 5 to 10 products in a day, and the chemical ingredients shouldn't be too complex. I suggest 10 to 20 types because the more you use, the higher you expose yourself to risk.
The more you use, the higher your risk. Not to mention, a beautiful skin comes from what you eat and not what you put on.
Amaranth and sweet potato leaves are in season right now, so it's easy to grow your own.
With some simple blanching of seasonal vegetables, you too can whip up a storm of healthy, nutritious dishes. For 20 years now, Zhu Huifang has been meticulous about what she consumes and doesn't look a day over 50.
The healthier we eat, the more it will reflect externally. You will feel more energized, happier, and less depressed.
With a proper cleansing and nourishing of your skin, as well as a balanced diet, regular exercise and sufficient sleep, beautiful skin and a glowing complexion is within reach of us all.
In year 2000, substitute military service was introduced into Taiwan's military system. The purpose of the new service was to give young people a chance to make use of their specialty while serving their compulsory military service. Next, we meet some soldiers and see how this new service is not only helping these young soldiers, but Taiwan as a whole.
My name is Chen Zhihong from 115 Echelon. I'm doing my public administration substitute service. My expertise is environmental engineering. I can't say that my actions will protect the planet, but at least I can make it cleaner. It is better for the planet. My name is Liu Yimin from 117 Echelon. I'm doing my public administration substitute service. My expertise is architecture and interior design.
用这块红布把它铺一个波浪的形状。好，可以。
The main purpose of the humanitarian department is to hold artistic events. I can use my expertise while serving my time in the military.
Inside various government departments, these young people are serving their substitute military services while exercising their academic or technical specialty. For those who are stationed at the DaAi district office, there are many tasks to do.
环境比较脏乱，所以需要各位来帮忙。
这个啊，啊，甲这有样啊。
I'm not very good at fixing this, and if I break it, I will have to spend more money to fix it. I'm very thankful that these youngsters are here to help me clean up.
I'm cleaning this area as if this is my own home. We are all from DaAi district, and these residents are like our relatives.
Some of the tasks these young soldiers need to handle are piling sandbags during typhoons, measuring seniors' blood pressure, tutoring children from low-income families, and much more. Their dedication has won recognition from the Ministry of Interior year after year.
When serving their substitute military services, they will develop a sense of connection with different elements of society. It will help them understand that they can contribute to make this society a better place.
Meanwhile, in Taichung City, a group of youngsters serving their substitute military services at the local Environmental Protection Bureau seized the chance to donate blood to help those in greater need.
Some people will have a second chance at life because you donated your blood.
This is Liu Yulong, who developed the habit of donating blood in senior high school. As an expert in information engineering, he is responsible for the maintenance of more than 400 computers at the local Environmental Protection Bureau. While serving his substitute military service, Liu says it has widened his perspectives on life.
I had a job offer from China, but after serving in the military and being involved in so many volunteer events here, I decided to stay in Taiwan. Right now, family is the most important thing for me.
We hope they can learn to be grateful for what they have. I think these concepts, once learned, will benefit our society.
Since 2000, Taiwan has followed in the footsteps of European countries and introduced the option of substitute military service.
First of all, the main purpose is to solve the problem of an excessive amount of soldiers. Secondly, we want to come up with a solution for those with religious beliefs or ideals that conflict with being in the military. Third, we want to take care of the minorities in our society. Those in need can apply for substitute military services to meet their families' needs.
Substitute military services have given young people the chance to exercise their expertise before they enter the job force. In its own way, it is a pre-employment training program that can better prepare these pillars of tomorrow's Taiwan. In Taiwan's Taitung, there's a piece of land that contains centuries-old banyan trees. A decade ago, the property was facing destruction as corporations wanted to purchase the land for development. In order to save the mountain he grew up on, Ali Man, a Bruno warrior, took out a loan to purchase the land.
Walking into the Forest Museum in Yanping Township of Taitung, Taiwan, it seems as if visitors have stepped into the world of Avatar the movie. What looks like many trees is actually just one banyan tree's roots turned into chunks.
The parent tree is here and the branches have extended to over there. Look, it's about 30 or 40 meters long.
Aliman, a Bunong warrior, is the first in his village to earn a college degree. But he would give up that life to save this field of the tree that walks.
Preserving this forest is actually just borrowing sunlight and time from the next generation, as we don't have anything to leave to them but this land. So we have to be a good role model and provide them with the right ideals.
10 years ago, Aliman gave up his job in the city to return to his hometown to help protect the forest he grew up with.
A conglomerate was going to purchase this land 10 years ago and turn it into a columbarium and temple or even a holiday resort. I was really nervous as this used to be our hunting ground and is the water source for our village. If this place was sold, it would devastate us.
Aliman isn't rich, so in order to save the property, he took out a loan of over 10 million NT dollars to buy the land.
We are doing two things here. One is to maintain a forest museum, which acts as a bank of forests, in that we have an infinite amount of forest interest to enjoy. The other is preserving this tribal area. It offers everyone, Taiwanese or otherwise, a chance to learn about environmental ethics.
Here at the Forest Museum, traditional tribal culture is preserved. There's no cement buildings or steel reinforcements, much like how Aliman's ancestors lived.
There's no electricity here. This way we can really showcase our way of living on the mountain and connect back to the wisdoms our ancestors had.
Showing respect to the land, every step into the forest is a surrender to nature.
I know this mountain, I know its temperament, how the weather will change, where there is water, where there are sleeping grounds, which fruit will grow in what season, how the animals migrate. But we don't say we have conquered the mountain. There's no such word in our language.
The Bunong people sees the mountain as their father, the river as their mother, and live harmoniously among their parents. It's the sense of peace that others have found when visiting.
I think my fellow affluent classmates are not missing immaterial goods. What we are seeking here is cultural education and a spiritual exchange.
In the past 10 years, this forest has attracted over 140,000 visitors from 70 countries. Even the United Nations Earth Charter Organization has held an event here.
It's a shame that more people don't know we have such a wonderful place. We are looking at the result of Aliman's years of hard work, from taking out the loan to gaining the approval of his tribe. So what I want to do is find more people like him and introduce them to the world.
Aliman refuses to take money from the government. Instead, with his own hard work and support from tribal villagers, he is protecting the mountain he knows so well.
We go to the United States at the end of the show. To celebrate the 7th lunar month, a blessing ceremony was held at the Tzu Chi El Monte Liaison Office in California. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.